Hello everyone, Jameson here again with a contact staff tutorial video on duck outs. Keep in mind all the staves you see me use in my videos I make myself, and if you check the about section below you can get info on how to get one. Duck outs, by the way, are a really good intermediary move between other larger tricks. Helps to add some style as well as give you a new means of control to help align things. If staff's not balanced on the back of your neck, you can use it to self-correct before throwing it into something more complex. So the first thing you want to know about a duck out is that you're utilizing this nice little pinch point that actually exists between your shoulder blades. You have to make sure that you raise your elbows high and you lean down to create a nice flat surface for the staff to rest on. And you want to make sure that your center point starts off right on the lower part of the back of your neck, right around the spot where it would have been coming from a neck wrap. And you lean forward, place the staff just to one side of your head, raise your shoulder blade so you can pinch it there, and you can actually have quite a bit of control with that spot. So once you're comfortable with that, go ahead and give it a little bit of a twist and a whip, and you should be able to duck out from underneath the staff as it comes to hit your head, and then you raise your shoulder blades again on the other side to catch it. You can also try this out once it's kind of comfortable doing it that way. You can do a suspended spin. Lower your shoulder blades, let it spin, and then try to catch it right back in the same spot and do another suspended spin. That's a really good way to drill what's going on with a duck out by starting off already in that spot. And also make sure, again, that the staff is high on your neck so you have more control on that flat space. You see here I put it in the wrong spot a couple times, how it's actually right between my shoulder blades. I want the center point higher than that, otherwise you're going to end up losing control. If you notice that happening, it falls off the back of your neck, that's probably what's going on. Here's another example from the front view. So once you're getting comfortable with that, we can think about applying the duck out into the middle of a half steve. You do what you would usually do. The staff rolls down and hits the back of your neck, and instead of just letting it traverse, you're going to duck right about the time that end of the staff is about to hit you in the head. It's like right about the spot where your ear is going to be at, and you duck right at the last second, and it'll slip over your head, roll around half a rotation, and then you raise your head and it should roll back up from your neck to your shoulder. Slow-mo action again. Just go for a half spin for now in the beginning. Duck right before the staff hits you in the head. Make sure to raise your shoulders as you duck your head so you have a nice flat surface for the staff to rest horizontally on. If you get it right, you can actually control what's going on and get more maintained on what's going on. If you duck your head further than necessary, you can actually get the staff to ride up onto your neck and get away from riding down your back if you happen to be losing control of it. So keep in mind, like, the angle of your body and posture has a lot to do with where the staff rides at. Okay, so the next step with a duck out is to try to do it multiple times in a row, more than half a rotation, or even infinitely, and you can potentially just keep this going. So start off again doing your suspended spin, and the key component to pay attention to with going infinitely is that your shoulders do a nice wave. You drop the shoulder that the staff's traversing across first so that it rolls down onto it, and then you raise and drop the other shoulder. And if you see what goes on there, you kind of keep the staff rolling and locked in that little pocket. Here I am again trying to do it too low, and I probably won't pull it off very well. Oh, I leaned forward to make sure that it stayed up on my neck. You see that? Nice spin, drop both shoulders, and then start the wave. If you can, try to catch it back in that same spot in your back, and maybe do another suspended spin. Here's another view of it from the front. You can see how the shoulders really wave while it's going on, and how low I have to get my head and my shoulders to keep it up there. So the next step for the more intermediate to advanced spinners is to apply what I just taught you to the ground. So you basically do a roll and you lay flat on the ground through the duck out portion. Just try this a few times. Just try this a few times without spinning the staff, just kind of coaching it through it, and learn to duck and place your hand at the same time, and then do your roll, and then carry through with the opposite leg that you hadn't rolled onto, or that you had rolled onto, over to the other side. And if you do this right, you can duck and then dive, or you can dive as you duck. Either way, I find it's easier to duck out first and then roll. In doing this right, you can actually create a 4-petaled pattern where you basically end up in the same spot that you started with, your feet facing the same direction, and your feet are always on the outside of the circle. So roll, hit your neck, duck of course, and then as it's lining up with your shoulders, go ahead and twist your body the direction the staff is spinning. Land down on your stomach and then ride back up as it comes up to your neck. And when you're ready, you can just continuously do this. Duck out, dive, roll, duck out, dive, roll, duck out, dive, roll. And I'm trying to just stay underneath the camera in this shot so you can see it, but ideally you can do this in a nice pretty pattern. Keep everything nice and symmetrical so you stop where you started. And here's a little bit of inspiration. Try combining all these things together so you've got like a Steve entrance, some infinite duck outs, and the ground roll all in one. I like to think of these as one of my signature moves. Hey guys, so check this out. The staff you saw me using in this tutorial video is actually one of my own design. I actually make and sell these to the public as well. It was actually just a fire staff that I've dressed up with a little bit with some color on it so that you could see it better in the video, and I also use it this way a lot for stage performances if I can't use fire. But this is what it looks like underneath all of it. Double wicked with 2 feet of 2-inch wide Kevlar on each wick. And I hand stitch all the wicking so that the Kevlar actually lasts a lot longer and you don't have any exposed hardware and screws, which can take extra wear and tear and break and cause all kinds of problems later on down the road if you don't take extra special care of your staff. So I've taken that extra step with these, and they have a very tacky, thin overgrip that works perfectly for contact work. It actually adheres to your body so much better than the foamy, impact resistant grips that a lot of other manufacturers tend to put on their staves that really don't do anything for contact work. And I also put a glow center point in the middle of these so that you can see them on really dark nights, even when the flame is blinding your eyes. It works really great for tosses. It's 1/2 inch wide, and all of the grip runs straight into the center point, and it's got a design so that there is traction going against the grip if you move away from the center point, which I don't see a lot of other manufacturers doing at this point. I got 5.5 years worth of research and development into these. They're constantly under improvement, but really I don't think that I'm going to be able to do much more with this design. It works so great. They're so balanced, they're super smooth, really rolls like a dream, and you would be keen to get one, and you'd be really helping out a fire artist, a starving artist of sorts on this end. If you were interested in acquiring one, go ahead and check out our online web store on Etsy and check out how you can get your hands on one of these.